I'm Stephanie Walsh for Side B Radio, and I'm sitting in Juan Valdez Cafe in Manhattan with Tyler Brunsman from Team Starkid. Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Stephanie.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for sitting and chatting with me. This is going to be fun.
All right, so first, we should get the formalities out of the biggest thing that fans have said to me when I opened up, I said, hey, I'm going to do an interview with Tyler. Do you guys have any questions for him? They were like, we don't know anything about him. I got so many people that were like, he's a mystery. So, want to talk a little bit about your background?
Sure. I am from small town Ohio, Perrysburg, Ohio. That's where I grew up, and I went to University of Michigan, obviously, where I became a part of Team Starkid. There's really not a whole lot else about me that's very exciting.
Alright, so I'll get into some...
I'm an Ohio boy.
Well, first, Ohio and Michigan are rivals with schools.
Is there
any weirdness there for you?
There was. I'm from Perrysburg, which is right outside Toledo, which is right on the border. I was like 20 minutes outside of Michigan. So, it was, my dad was not happy that I was going to Michigan, but I am definitely a Wolverine at heart, so there's no question there.
Awesome.
Especially with all this Jim Trestle stuff. Not so good.
So how did you start getting into, you sing, you dance, how did you get into all that?
When I was in the second grade, I was in a production of The Crowded House, or A Crowded House. It was one of the two. And I don't remember much about it. I just remember that one of my lines was, well, the premise of the show was that there was like a family living in a house, and they had to bring all their animals in and all of these other people in the town, and it got too crowded. It was a crowded house. And so they had to bring in all their chickens and their cows and everything, and so one of my lines was, oh, I think I stepped on an egg. And that's all I remember about it, but that's what made me love theater. And I've been doing it ever since.
That's fantastic. Do you have any favorite roles that you had, your favorite part that you played, or a least favorite part that you played?
One of my favorite shows of all time, one of the shows that really got me into musical theater was Ragtime. And so at Michigan, I got the opportunity to play Father in Ragtime my junior year, and it was just getting to sing that score with that orchestra is just, I don't know, it was a memory that I will definitely always remember, and a real joy. I hope to play it again, maybe in 20 years. I'm a little young for it now that I'm in the real world, but yeah.
Okay, what about least favorite part? Is there a part that you did not enjoy?
That is tricky. I think that I would have to say, I don't think I have a least favorite role. I did, okay, this isn't a least favorite role, but this is an ironic role, is my junior year at Michigan, I did a musical, we did a workshop of a musical called Sea Rock City and Other Destinations, and I was really excited. They are running away at an anvil over there.
I understand what they're doing right now.
But anyway, so I was cast in the role of Grampy, who was an 80-year-old man who had had a stroke and could no longer speak and could no longer move and was bound to a wheelchair, which really makes you feel good about your abilities as an actor when you're given a role like that, where they're like, you're not going to speak or move, but you're going to be on stage. But it actually ended up being a really fun role. But
alright, so you went to Michigan, you met everybody else in Team Starkid. Somebody asked me, Allie asked me what your favorite part about being a part of Team Starkid is.
Well, Allie, my favorite part of Team Starkid is this is a group of people that I didn't know before I joined. My sophomore year at Michigan, there was a poster up for auditions for the show that became a Harry Potter musical. And I thought, well, I don't have anything to do. I'll just audition and see what happens. And I went in and I auditioned, and they said, sure, you're going to come in. And I think they originally cast me as Gilderoy Lockhart, but that part ended up getting written out of the show before we ever started rehearsals, and so they ended up putting me in as Cedric. But it was a group of people that I had seen at Michigan but never been a part of. And getting to be with them, and we really became this family that I won't forget. Before the second show, before we did the sequel, Julia in our circle up, Julia Albain, was she was talking about how unique it was that we all got to come together and recreate this like electricity and this unity of our family that you know, usually that happens once, but we got the unique experience to do it a second time with the sequel. They're having a fight over there or something. This is a happening cafe. Come here, the Juan Valdez Cafe. It is happening. But it was just this like family, and it's just something that, you know, is so unique that I've never been a part of, and I know that that bond is going to stick with us forever. That we created something that became, I mean, it was so close to us, and it became so close to so many other people. That,
That's true. So are you a Harry Potter fan?
You know, I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm not as big a Harry Potter fan as some of the other Starkids are. I read the books growing up. I got the 7th book at midnight. Like I think everyone around the country did that read Harry Potter. But I mean, yes, I'm a Harry Potter fan, but I'm not like a devoted fan. I'm not like, oh, I can't believe they did that in the movie when that wasn't in the book, because I didn't remember the book. I read them all once, and I mean, I enjoyed it. I think it's fantastic, but I'm not a die-hard Harry Potter fan.
There you go. Okay. So, do you prefer the books to the movies, or do you have a preference?
I like the books. I mean, I enjoy the movies as well, but the books, you know, you get to be creative and you get to think of your own things. And when the movie started, then I lost what my image, I can't even remember what my image of Hogwarts was before the movies. So I've lost that, but, you know, I like the movies and the books, but I appreciate the books more because that got my imagination going.
Do you have favorite characters?
No.
No.
Yes, I'm sure I do. I have characters that I like, and I have characters that I don't like.
Well, do you like Lucius Malfoy? I mean, here, this is a legit question. When you see the films, well, you haven't reread the books, so but when you see the films, do you think...
Well, you haven't, but...
I reread the books, and I'll see, like, my father will hear about this, and I think about Lauren. I don't think about Tom Felton. But so there are obviously Starkid references because the guys wrote it based on the book. But do you get that at all? Do you ever think like Starkid instead of like the regular when you watch the movies?
You know, I don't. I did at one point when we were watching the last movie when we were at LeakyCon. When Lucius came on screen for the first time, I thought, oh, I portrayed that character once. And then Julia was sitting next to me and she went, oh my gosh, there's you. and I thought, no, that's not. And I was like, oh, well, it's Jason Isaacs, but we both played the same character. But no, you know, the shows are so different from the actual story and the movies, and it's so much a parody of what it is that I guess I don't really connect both, but I can see how the connection would be done.
It is, all the time.
Yeah.
If the third Potter musical happens, because I know everyone says we want to, are you going to be involved in the third Potter musical? Yes.
That's the short answer. The long answer is absolutely yes. They sat down with me and they told me what the plot was going to be and what character they had picked out for me, and it would be, I can't say who it would be, but it's a character that hasn't been seen in the musicals before and would be very different from anything that I've done in the shows.
God, I'm so curious now.
And I want the third musical to happen kind of just so I can play that character, but and everyone thinks it's Lockhart. Not true. But no, I really hope it happens. It's not Lucius or Cedric or Cornelius Fudge, or thank you for that help. It's a completely new character that hasn't been in the shows and that I've never played.